Physical Chemistry, Chapter 4, Phase Rule, Same Third, Part 2nd, Class T by BSc. I am from Department of Chemistry. I am from MGV Arts, Commerce and Science College, Malegaon City. So it is the part 2nd of chapter number 4, Phase Rule. In the part 1st, we have already studied the definition regarding the phase rule, such as system, phase, number of components, degree of freedom, phase rule, how we can calculate the component, phase rule, number of phases and degree of freedom. Today we see the equilibrium, types of equilibrium, that is true equilibrium, metastable equilibrium, non-equilibrium. We will also see the application of phase rule. First see equilibrium. A system is at equilibrium if its free energy is minimum under the given sets of temperature, pressure and composition. That means the system is stable and its characteristics do not change over time, and the state that is achieved given sufficient time is said to be the equilibrium condition. Under conditions of a constant temperature, pressure and composition, the direction of any spontaneous change is towards a lower free energy. So at constant temperature, pressure or composition, if the change is spontaneous, means that occurs on its own accord, so that change must be at lower free energy. The state is said to be the equilibrium state. The types of equilibrium: true equilibrium, metastable equilibrium and non-equilibrium. See one by one. So from this diagram, we have to observe at state A, the plot graph is free energy versus phase space coordinate. From this graph, it is clear that at state A, metastable equilibrium. At state B, it is the equilibrium, stable equilibrium. In between these two, we have to observe unstable equilibrium as well as non-equilibrium. True equilibrium. From the diagram, it is clear that there are two colored boxes, pink color box and dark blue color box, and these two boxes are present on the ground. That is, these are stable state. So we can say that it is a state in the reaction which is not stable but not unstable too unless you excite it. If we apply any force on these two objects, on these two boxes, they remains present on the ground. Means their stability does not disturb. Means they do not transfer from one state to another state. They remains on the floor, they remains on the ground. So such state is said to be the equilibrium. So this equilibrium attained from the both sides. So such equilibrium is said to be the true equilibrium. See another example, ice and water. So in order to observe the true equilibrium, if equilibrium it is attained or it is observed from ice, from the side of the ice, as well as we can observe the equilibrium from the side of the water. So this is said to be the true equilibrium. Next, metastable equilibrium. The state of equilibrium can only be attained from one side only. That means from water side and not from the side of ice, because our system contains liquid water. So on cooling the water at constant pressure, the resultant water is said to be super cooled water. Contrary, if we have to observe the equilibrium from the other side, since we do not have a superheated ice, therefore this equilibrium is different from the true equilibrium and is called a metastable equilibrium. So from the diagram, we have to observe the graph free energy versus space coordinates. So the red color position, it represents the metastable condition. It is only from one side. Whereas equilibrium, it is from the both side, from the left hand side as well as from the right hand side. So from the right hand diagram, it is observed that here the pink box lies horizontal on the floor. You cannot apply any force and make it fall to any lower state. It remains on the ground. So the pink box lies horizontal on the floor. You cannot apply any force to fall on the lower state as it is already on the ground. It is said to be the stable. Whereas dark blue box that stands vertical on the floor. If I push the box by my finger from the front side near top, obviously it will fall down on its back on the ground. Otherwise, it is still at vertical position in the absence of any external force. That means it remains undisturbed. So this is meta-stable state where the object continues to be in the state as it is unless we apply the force on it. So such equilibrium is said to be the meta-stable equilibrium. See, unstable equilibrium. Here the dark blue box is not on the ground, nor it is vertically standing. It is in air, means it is in the higher state. Obviously it falling towards the ground. It is said to be the unstable equilibrium. So consider a system containing saturated aqueous solution of sodium chloride. The rate of dissolution of sodium chloride becomes very small. However, a state of equilibrium will not be attained until a saturation limit is reached. Once this happens, dissolved sodium chloride will be in equilibrium with undissolved sodium chloride. A state of solution prior to saturation is said to be unstable equilibrium. In such a state, the system does not change with time. The similar situation will arise in the state of non-equilibrium. So from this diagram, we can clearly understand the metastable equilibrium, unstable equilibrium, non-equilibrium and stable equilibrium. Now see the phase diagram or equilibrium diagram. So what is phase diagram? A graphical representation showing the phase or phases present for a given composition, temperature and pressure. It is also termed as equilibrium diagram. The phase diagram show what phases exist at equilibrium and what phase transformation we can expect when we change one of the parameter of the system: temperature, pressure, composition. These are the three parameters of the system. So among these three parameters, the two parameters gets varied, whereas third one will be kept constant. See the variation of vapor pressure with temperature. If we have to plot a graph of pressure in mm of Hg versus temperature in Kelvin, and we have to observe the equilibrium in between liquid and vapor. The vapor pressure, its variation with the temperature. So there will be the equilibrium between the liquid and the vapor. So here we have to observe two components gets varied, means pressure, temperature, both varied simultaneously. So as the temperature increases, pressure also goes on increasing. So the process continues until we have gained the equilibrium. The diagram which depicts the conditions of equilibrium between the vapor phase of a substance is called a phase diagram or equilibrium diagram. See the types of components. Our system composed of the three types of components, that is one component system, two component system and three component system. One component system, if we use the phase rule for one component system, means C is equal to 1. In the previous lecture, we have already studied the formula used to calculate number of degree of freedom, number of component, number of phases. So what is the phase rule for one component system? We have to use the formula F is equal to C minus P plus 2. For one component C is equal to 1. Finally we will get the F is equal to 3 minus P. So here maximum degree of freedom can be only 2. Two component system, when phase rule it is applied for two component system, means C is equal to 2. So F is equal to C minus P plus 2. It becomes F is equal to 2 minus P plus 2. Finally we get F is equal to 4 minus P. So here maximum degree of freedom is 3. Three component system. Phase rule when applying three component system means C is equal to 3. So F is equal to C minus P plus 2 becomes F is equal to 3 minus P plus 2. Finally we get F is equal to 5 plus P. Here maximum degree of freedom is 4. So how the maximum degree of freedom it becomes 4? We see in the next lecture or in the next slide. The phase rule. In order to study the phase rule, it is necessary to know the phase equilibrium and phase transition. So what is phase equilibrium? System composed of two or more phases exist in equilibrium. For example, equilibrium in between ice and water at 0 degrees C. Phase transition, part of matter converts from one phase to another phase. So we have to observe the so many transitions. So obviously we will get the so many processes. First transition in between solid and liquid. Solid transform into the liquid, the process is said to be the melting process. Second, liquid transfer into the solid, it is the freezing. Liquid transfer into the gas, that is said to be the vaporization. And gas transfer into the liquid, it is said to be the condensation. And solid transfer into the gas, that is said to be the sublimation. Last, gas transform into the solid, it is said to be the deposition. Now see the various examples, means application of the phase rule to various system. The first column, it is the number, second number of system, third number of phase present at equilibrium, fourth number of components, last number of degrees of freedom and the variables. So see the first example, a definite mass of gas enclosed in a cylinder. So how many phases? Only gas, one phases. How many components? Only one type of the gas. Obviously the number of components will be 1. The number of degree of freedom calculated by using the formula F is equal to C minus P plus 2. So put the value of C and P 1. We get F is equal to 1 minus 1 plus 2 equal to 2. So here maximum degree of freedom must be 2. The pressure and temperature of the gas gets varied. Either two variables and keeping third one remains as it is. See the second example, equilibrium between water and the vapor. The water composed of the two components means hydrogen and the oxygen, constituents hydrogen and oxygen. It changes into the vapor state. Its constituents remain same, hydrogen and oxygen. So how many phases? Liquid, gas. So two phases. How many components? Only one component. The number of degree of freedom F is equal to C minus P plus 2. The value of C means component 1. Number of phases it is 2. So F is equal to 1 minus 2 plus 2. It becomes 1. So pressure or temperature. Either pressure changes or temperature changes. See the third example, calcium carbonate. It is in equilibrium with calcium oxide as well as carbon dioxide. So here number of phases are 3 and number of components it is 2. So what is number of degree of freedom? F is equal to C minus P plus 2. So C it is 2. P means number of phases it is 3. So 2 minus 3 plus 2 it becomes 1. So pressure or temperature changes. See the fourth example. Ice, it is in equilibrium with water, which is in equilibrium with vapor. So how many phases are there? Solid, liquid and gases. 3 phases. How many components? Only one component. Water, it is present in 3 phases, solid, liquid or gas. Hence, component must be 1. So what is the degree of freedom? F is equal to C minus P plus 2. Component 1, phases 3. So 1 minus 3 plus 2 equal to 0. Means when 3 phases are in equilibrium, there will be the number of degree of freedom must be 0. No variable. Means all pressure, temperature and composition all remain same. Last example number 5. Hg in liquid condition, which is in equilibrium with CCl4, which is again in liquid condition, which is in equilibrium with water, liquid, again it is in equilibrium with paper. So how many phases are there? 4 phases are there. And how many number of components are there? Only 3 components. At the last, concentrate on the last part of the equilibrium. Water, it is in equilibrium with the vapor. Since the components same, water and vapor. Water, it is present in the liquid condition, and water, it is present in the gaseous condition. Both the components same. Hence 3 components, 4 phases. So number of degree of freedom, F is equal to C minus P plus 2. C will be 3, P will be 4. So 3 minus 4 plus 2, it becomes 1. So pressure or temperature goes on changing. Thank you.